today we'll see a high of around 84, and as you head home, dropping 2 degrees to 82. And right now we're going to talk about the dozens of members of the Hartford area who are going to be helping in an effort for a little girl who needs a lung transplant. Gus Ganorski is live this morning with more on the ride for the little girl. Hi, Gus.
Says she needs a lung transplant, and it comes down to this. In order to help pay for that lung transplant, the RATS, the Restored Area Tractor Club of Hartford, has gotten together to find a way to do it and have fun in the process. Well, at least you'd think it's fun if the weather holds well. Don Maltoff is here, and we're on your family farm, Maltoff Farm, just outside of Rubicon, where all the tractors are gathered up. You came up with the idea to do this, right?
Yeah, about 2 years ago. I was going to make the trip alone when I retired, and then Roger Anderson and I went up and looked the show over and went from there. We've been planning this for 2 years.
The show we're talking about is up in Eagle River. That's an antique tractor and machinery show?
Right. It's the Eagle River Steam and Gas Engine Show.
Mm-hmm.
Antique.
Now that Eagle River is 250 miles up and 250 miles back, so that's a 500-mile round trip, and I don't see any enclosed cabs on any of these tractors.
No.
So we're hoping there's no hail, is that what I understand?
Yeah, hail is bad.
Yeah, rain kind of runs off, but hail stings on the way down. These tractors that you guys have all collected and restored, what's the oldest one that's here that'll be making this trip?
I think it's about a 42, 42 Massey Harris 101.
Now you guys in the club here, you all restore various tractors. When you go through this process, where do you find them? I mean, some of these are old family tractors or the antiques that you buy at auction?
A lot of them are family tractors, and then some pick them up, but they're getting scarce.
You take them apart, clean them up, paint them, put them all back together, get them in running condition, and some of these are still working tractors, right?
Right, yeah. They use them on the farms too.
Yeah. No sense wasting good machinery.
Right.
Well, you're going to make quite a parade. How many tractors will be traveling up to Eagle River?
There'll be 11.
And average speed of?
Oh, probably 15, 16.
Not exactly high speed. That's why those slow speed triangles are on the back of these things.
We got 9 guys and 2 women driving up.
Okay. And the whole idea here is to raise money for Sarah Aidley. She has cystic fibrosis. She needs a lung transplant, and I know that's been disappointing. It's come close before, and then it didn't work, and close, and it didn't work, and she's really had a tough time of it. So eventually this transplant will happen, though.
We hope so.
I hope so, too, and this is one way to help pay for it. If someone's interested in helping that out, obviously they can see you. We'll talk about the route that you're going to be taking, but if someone wants to help out Sarah, they can always make donations to the fund or pledge to pay 50 cents or $1 a mile for you guys to make that 500-mile round trip.
And they can also send it to the Hartford First National Bank.
Okay. We'll get an address for you later where people can send those contributions if they want to. I understand Sarah's home. Is she going to be able to join us this morning?
I'm not sure if she will or not. Her mother will be here.
Okay. We'll get a chance to meet her a little bit later. This whole thing starts at 1 o'clock this afternoon, so we're getting a chance to visit earlier than normal. We'll take a look at some of the tractors, talk to some of the other owners as well. Boy, I can remember being on one of these when I was... That was a long time ago. We'll talk about that as well later as we come back here to Rubicon and members of RATS, the Restored Antique Tractor Club of Hartford.
All for a good cause today. Gus, thank you very much. With the
You know, I don't think I've ever seen you blush until today.
I know. Scott, thank you very much. Well, today, a dozen tractor drivers begin a trek to northern Wisconsin to raise money for a young transplant hopeful. This morning, the Gus Tour is live in Washington County with more on the ride. Hi, Gus.
Hi there. I've gotten my official rat hat on from the Restored Antique Tractor Club of Hartford. Ron Atkins is one of the tractor restorers and one of the people responsible for this whole ride. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
This is your machine.
Yes, it's a Farmall 1946.
1946. Now, has this thing been running continuously since then, or is this one that you found and just lovingly gave a new coat of paint?
It's been running continuously. I bought it about 25 years ago, and the person that had it before me worked it up until that time.
And speaking of working, this is still a working tractor, too.
Still a working tractor.
Now, when we talk about restoring antique tractors, I know folks that do restore antique cars, they get a little picky about it. You know, it has to be original equipment and look exactly like it. Other people aren't that picky about it being exactly original. They just want the basic thing there and running. You don't seem to be tied completely to the original design in this one. I mean, the radiator cap says Coca-Cola, something else back there says Budweiser, and the Surrey doesn't have a fringe, but it's kind of neat.
Yeah, I tried to put it together the way that I could like to drive it. And to be completely original, it's too expensive.
Yeah. And the reality is you're the one that has to drive it. You have to be comfortable in here. Now, you're going to be riding this all the way up to Eagle River. That's not a whole lot of shelter up there in case it continues to rain like it's raining right now.
Well, originally I put it at the top on it for the sunshine. We were expecting 90-degree weather for the next 3 days, and that's for protection from the sun.
Okay, well, it'll protect you from the sun, but the rain may be another issue. You folks are getting ready to take off about 1 o'clock this afternoon, and again, you're doing all of this for Sarah.
Yes,
She's the
Sarah.
cystic fibrosis patient who needs a lung transplant. Hopefully she'll be able to come out and meet with us today, but I hope this ride does well for them. If people want to contribute to this, anything they can, they're willing to sponsor you with the Surrey or any of the other drivers without, they can contact the First National Bank in Hartford, right?
Right. It's a Fighting for Life fund that's set up for Sarah Abley, and it's at the bank here in Hartford.
First National Bank in Hartford, I think
Yes.
we had the address, able to put it up there on the screen and let everybody know where they could send contributions for this. This girl has been fighting this all her life, and it's been so close at times to getting a transplant, and then disappointment sets in. So hopefully this will happen this time as soon as possible, and you guys are to be congratulated for doing all this work to help pay for it.
We're really glad that we could help and our club have a cause like this.
Okay. Now, you're bringing all the gear with you. Are you bringing the food too?
Yes, the food will be en route there.
All part of the caravan.
Right.
Okay. Well, we'll check on the diet and everything else, and tell you what, we're going to go through and meet all of the club members who are going to make this ride when we come back here. We're in Rubicon this morning. That's where it's all beginning, just west of Hartford, just off Highway 60. That's where it starts at 1 o'clock this afternoon. We'll be back a bit later this morning. Weather permitting. Weather watch here. Rubicon, light rain. It's starting.
Okay, Gus, thank you very much, and our best wishes to Sarah. Fox 6 News Time right now, 8:19.
One-armed bandit, and you'd see...
All the same.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, beautiful. Scott, when you do something, everything else falls into place.
Well, thank you so much, Stacia.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Scott, thank you. Well, today about a dozen tractor drivers will climb up on their ironclad vehicles to raise money for a young lung transplant hopeful. This morning, the Gus Tour is live in Washington County with more on the event. And Gus, you're getting rained on, but you got a hardy crew you're with.
Yes, we have a very hardy crew, and we've also moved indoors, which is not a bad thing to do. I can tell you the radar is exactly right. Rubicon is just west of Hartford on Highway 60. That's where this farm is. And there's a steady rain outside right now. Hopefully it'll clear up in time for the tractors. They're going to be leaving at 1 o'clock this afternoon, heading for Eagle River. And there's a big show up in Eagle River. That's where they're headed. But that's not the important part. The important part is they're raising money for a very, very good cause. It's a 500-mile trip, round trip, and Roger Endress is going to do it, along with all the others. Morning, Roger.
Hi.
You've restored tractors. You're getting ready to take this entire trip, but really the whole reason for this thing was for Sarah.
Yeah.
Because she has cystic fibrosis, she needs a lung transplant, and this is to raise money for it. How big is the club itself, the RATS, the Restored Antique Tractor
Well,
Club?
we're around 65 members now. It's all a bunch of local fellas. They're all a lot of farm boys. Not all. We have some folks that grew up on a farm, and many years ago, Grandpa may have had a farm, and they all got a love of tractors.
Yeah, city boys that love tractors too.
Sure.
Yeah,
It's good. Makes us feel smart. We can fill them all kinds of good information, and they'll believe everything we say.
Now, the tractors you're taking up there, though, I mean, there's some new equipment on this farm, some big, heavy equipment,
Yeah.
which would roll nicely on the roads, but you guys are taking these restored antique tractors up there and doing it at an average speed of what, about a dozen miles an hour?
We'll average about 15, 16 mile an hour.
Now, how comfortable is that going to be riding on a tractor that long? Those seats do not exactly look like they're made for cushy rides.
I'll tell you, Gus, this would be a lot better than when I was farming. We're driving right down on Blacktop Road. We ain't bouncing across the field.
Okay.
And, you know, there were a lot of times you start cutting hay, like in the summer day, you start cutting at about 9 o'clock in the morning, and about 11 o'clock, crawl off of one tractor and go on the rake, and at 1 o'clock, you're baling. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
And that's a little rougher when you're running over fields, too. It's
Yeah.
not as smooth as the road. So this should be a interesting ride for the weather, though, more than anything else, because
Yeah.
you're going to end up a long ways from home, living out of a suitcase.
Well, the thing, too, is the engines are going to be running pretty hard for, about 23 hours. We figure it'll take it running time, you know, and, well, let's face it, these animals are 50 years old, some of them, you know.
Yes, and so are their tractors. But nevertheless, this whole thing is being done for, I know we could see the picture here, and this is Sarah Ebley. If someone wants to make a donation, we've had people stop by here this morning and do that, to make donations to this, which is really kind of nice. If they want to mail one in, they can send it to the First National Bank in Hartford.
First National Bank in Hartford. Make the checks out to the Fighting for Life Fund in care of the First National Bank. That's important.
And that's at 116 West Sumner in Hartford, 53027. Guys, God bless you for doing the work, and have a safe trip up there all the way. So we wish you good luck in Eagle River. By the way, once you get to Eagle River at this big show, will all of these tractors be on display there?
Yes, they will. They have a separate section set up side for us for the guys that drove up and all that there. City of Eagle River is, from what we've been told, we have a lot of things they have planned for us.
Great. That'll be great. It'll be a great story all the way around.
I hear tell that the mayor, you remember that old German tale about the Pied Piper? He brought in, you know, the mayor in Hartford, the mayor in Eagle River is going to kind of lead us in, but I got a feeling he's going to lead us out on Monday, too.
He might do that. Thank you so much for talking to us. Thank all of the guys in the club and that group of 12 tractors. Again, we're located just west of Rubicon on Highway 60. That's where it begins at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Your moral support is wonderful, but your financial support would be nice too, all to help out Sarah. And it's a pretty good operation going this morning. Love the red tractors. Barry Alvarez likes them too, as a matter of fact.
Love the spirit.
Fox 6's Gus Ganorski visited the starting point near Rubicon.
They call themselves RATS, the Restored Antique Tractor Club in the Hartford area. Their tractors are beautiful restorations with names long gone, Farmall and Massey Harris. 9 men and 2 women will drive these antiques 250 miles to Eagle River for the Antique Gas and Steam Engine Show. At 15 miles an hour, that's a 3-day trip. A long ride, but not too rough, according to club member Roger Endress.
This would be a lot better than when I was farming. We're driving right down on Blacktop Road. We ain't bouncing across the field.
The ride is also a fundraiser for Sarah Ebley, a Hartford teenager with cystic fibrosis who needs a lung transplant. The club learned of Sarah's plight last February, and the members all wanted to do something to help. So they collected pledges for each mile they ride. No goal was set, just to raise whatever help they could get. The tractors may be antiques, but they're all working machines. Even Ron Adkins' 1946 Farmall.
It's been running continuously. I bought it about 25 years ago, and the person that had it before me worked it up until that time.
The club members love to fix things, and they hope this ride will help to fix Sarah Ebley. Gus Ganorski, Fox 6 News.
Evans from Packers minicamp coming up in sports.
Also coming up, kids breaking into pools is becoming a growing problem in our area with potentially disastrous results.
And coming up later in our finishing touch, why would anyone want to ride a tractor 500 miles?
I'm going to be enjoying this. It's going to bring back a lot of memories for all of us.
Something else, but some people are doing just that. We're going to find out why in our finishing touch. The birds chirp peacefully along a quiet section of highway in Dodge County until over the hill comes this. A convoy of antique tractors. Members of the Restored Antique Tractor Club set out today from Hartford. They're going to stop in Omro and Antigo on their way to a show in Eagle River on Friday.
We have to make Eagle River by 5:30 because the city of Eagle River is shutting down to give us a parade in the town.
You're probably asking yourself why anyone would want to ride 500 miles on a tractor. Well, the RATS, as they call themselves, are raising money for Sarah Ebley, a Hartford teenager who has cystic fibrosis and needs a lung transplant.
I'd like to let the people out there know that there's an organization out there, clubs like ourselves, who care about the way things are going. We all have roots on the farm.
So does Sarah's family appreciate the fundraising effort?
These guys are so great that they're doing this and taking the time to think about Sarah, and we couldn't appreciate it anymore. It's really wonderful.
I think that's what we were on this earth for, to help each other. I guess this is what it's all about.
That's for sure, and Sarah has a lot of friends.
It's a great cause, but I would think those seats might get a little sore.
They might need a little massage after that.
Thanks for joining us at 6 o'clock.
tell me how.